Number 15. The Ghost Ship Kaz-2. The mysterious case of the Kaz-2, often dubbed the Ghost Yacht, has intrigued and puzzled maritime enthusiasts and investigators since its discovery in 2007. The 32-foot catamaran was found drifting off the northeast coast of Australia, with its three-man crew missing and no clear indication of what had transpired. The circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the crew of the Kaz-2 have given rise to numerous theories, ranging from the plausible to the paranormal, adding it to the list of the most compelling maritime mysteries in recent history. The Kaz-2 set sail from Arley Beach in Queensland, Australia, on April 15, 2007. The crew consisted of three relatively inexperienced yachtsmen, skipper Des Batten, 56, and his friends brothers Peter Tunstead, 69, and John Tunstead, 63. Their plan was to sail the yacht to Townsville, a journey that should have taken them along the picturesque and tranquil waters of the Whitsunday Islands. Despite their experience and the seemingly straightforward nature of the voyage, something went terribly wrong. On April 18, 2007, the Kaz-2 was spotted adrift by a helicopter pilot about 88 nautical miles off the coast of Townsville. Concerned by the sight of the unmanned yacht, the pilot reported it to maritime authorities, who subsequently dispatched a rescue team to investigate. What they found aboard the Kaz-2 only deepened the mystery. Upon boarding the yacht, rescuers discovered that it was in near pristine condition. The engine was running, a laptop was turned on and functioning, and untouched food and beverages were laid out on the table. A newspaper dated April 15th, the day of departure, lay open, suggesting that whatever happened had occurred shortly after they set sail. Even more perplexing was the fact that all the yacht's safety equipment, including life jackets, an emergency beacon, and lifeboats, were still aboard undisturbed. One of the most eerie details was that the yacht's sails were up, and one of them was badly shredded. However, this didn't appear to be the result of a violent storm, as the weather conditions in the area during the yacht's voyage were reportedly calm. The Kaz-2's GPS system showed that the yacht had made a series of erratic movements before it was found adrift, suggesting that the crew might have encountered trouble not long after their departure. Despite an extensive air and sea search covering thousands of square kilometers, no trace of the three missing men was ever found. The empty, yet seemingly untouched state of the Kaz-2 gave rise to numerous theories about the crew's fate. One theory posits that the crew might have been swept overboard by a freak wave or a sudden gust of wind while adjusting the sails. This could explain the shredded sail and why the yacht was found drifting. Another theory suggests that one of the men might have fallen overboard, and the other two perished trying to rescue him. In this scenario, the initial man overboard might have led to a chain of events where all three men ended up in the water, unable to get back on the yacht. This theory aligns with the erratic GPS movements, which could indicate attempts to recover a man overboard. However, this theory doesn't account for the fact that all safety equipment was still on board, indicating that none of the men had attempted to grab a life jacket or deploy the emergency beacon in a moment of crisis. Some of the more outlandish theories propose the involvement of foul play or even supernatural forces. Given the yacht's nickname as the Ghost Yacht, speculation about paranormal activity has inevitably surfaced. However, there is no evidence to support these more fantastical theories, and they remain purely speculative. In 2008, the Queensland Coroner's Office conducted an inquest into the disappearance of the Kaz-2's crew. The inquest concluded that the most likely explanation was that one of the men had fallen overboard, and the others had gone into the water in a failed rescue attempt. The coroner noted that the shredded sail and the yacht's erratic path could be consistent with such a scenario. Despite this official conclusion, the lack of definitive evidence means that the mystery is far from settled in the public's mind. Number 14. The Kraken. The legend of the Kraken, a mythical sea monster of enormous proportions, has captivated the human imagination for centuries. Emerging from the cold, deep waters of Scandinavian folklore, the Kraken is depicted as a colossal creature capable of pulling entire ships beneath the waves with its powerful tentacles. The mystery of the Kraken is rooted in ancient tales, but its story has endured and evolved over time, influenced by scientific discoveries and an unending fascination with the unknown depths of the ocean. The earliest references to the Kraken date back to the 13th century in Icelandic sagas and Norwegian texts. One of the first detailed descriptions appears in the Konungsskuggsea, King's Mirror, a Norwegian educational text from around 1250. The text describes a creature so vast that it could be mistaken for an island, with a habit of dragging sailors to their doom. This image of the Kraken as a gargantuan, almost supernatural being set the tone for centuries of maritime lore. By the 18th century, the Kraken had become a fixture in the writings of naturalists and explorers. Erik Pontoppidan, a Danish-Norwegian naturalist, described the Kraken in his 1755 work, The Natural History of Norway. Pontoppidan's account painted the Kraken as a beast capable of creating massive whirlpools as it submerged, pulling ships and their crews into the depths along with it. He estimated the creature's size to be more than a mile across, further cementing its reputation as an enormous and fearsome entity. The real-life basis for the Kraken legend likely lies with the giant squid, genus Architeuthis, a deep-sea cephalopod known to reach lengths of up to 43 feet. Encounters with these elusive creatures, whether glimpsed by sailors at sea or washed ashore, could easily have been exaggerated into tales of monstrous sea serpents. The giant squid's long, tentacled body and large, staring eyes match many descriptions of the Kraken, making it a likely candidate for the creature behind the myth. Despite advances in marine biology, the giant squid remained largely a creature of myth until the 21st century. In 2005, Japanese researchers captured the first images of a live giant squid in its natural habitat, providing concrete evidence of the creature that had inspired the Kraken legend. This discovery was followed by further research, including the capture of additional footage of a giant squid in 2012 by a team led by Dr. Edith Witter. These findings have provided valuable insights into the biology and behavior of giant squids, though much about them remains a mystery due to their deep-sea habitat. The giant squid is typically found at depths of 1,000 to 3,000 feet in the world's oceans, particularly in the North Atlantic, off the coasts of Norway, Newfoundland, and New Zealand. These regions, with their deep, cold waters, offer ideal conditions for the giant squid, which preys on deep-sea fish and other squid species. The elusive nature of the giant squid and the challenges of deep-sea exploration mean that sightings are rare, contributing to the creature's mystique. In addition to the giant squid, the colossal squid, Misonicodothus hamiltoni, also fits descriptions of the Kraken. Even larger than the giant squid, the colossal squid can grow up to 46 feet long and has been found in the deep waters of the Southern Ocean. With its massive size and aggressive predatory behavior, the colossal squid is another potential source for the Kraken myth. While scientific discoveries have demystified some aspects of the Kraken legend, they have also fueled further speculation and fascination. The ocean remains largely unexplored, and new species are regularly discovered in its depths. This has led some to speculate that even larger and more mysterious creatures may exist, waiting to be found. The vastness and inaccessibility of the deep sea ensure that it continues to be a realm of speculation and wonder. The Kraken's influence extends beyond scientific inquiry into popular culture, where it's been immortalized in literature, movies, and video games. From Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem The Kraken, to its appearance in movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and in the lore of games like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the Kraken remains a powerful symbol of the unknown and the terrifying beauty of the ocean. Theories about the current existence of the Kraken, or creatures like it, range from the plausible to the fantastical. Some cryptozoologists suggest that there may be even larger cephalopods or unknown sea monsters that have yet to be discovered. The deep sea, with its extreme conditions and vast unexplored areas, is a perfect hiding place for such beings. However, mainstream science remains cautious, emphasizing the need for evidence and the challenges of deep-sea research. The cultural and historical significance of the Kraken also plays a role in its enduring mystery. For centuries, sailors' tales and local folklore have kept the legend alive, passing down stories of monstrous encounters and near escapes. These stories reflect humanity's deep-seated fear of the unknown and the dangers of the sea, as well as our fascination with the possibility of undiscovered life forms. Number 13. The Sea Serpent of HMS Daedalus. The tale of the sea serpent of the HMS Daedalus is one of the most captivating and fantastical maritime mysteries. It all began on August 6, 1848, when the British Royal Navy ship HMS Daedalus, captained by Captain McQuay, was sailing from the Cape of Good Hope to St. Helena. As the ship traversed the South Atlantic, an extraordinary and unsettling event occurred that would ignite discussion and speculation for decades to come. The afternoon was clear and the sea was calm, offering no hint of the bizarre scene that was about to unfold. At around 5 p.m., the crew of the Daedalus spotted a strange, elongated creature moving through the water. The first to notice it were the ship's officers, who immediately alerted Captain McQuay. The captain, along with several other officers, observed the creature through their telescopes, noting its serpentine form and undulating movements. The sea serpent appeared to be around 60 feet long, with a long neck that rose about 4 feet above the water. Its head, which was said to resemble that of a snake or a dragon, moved gracefully from side to side as it swam. The creature maintained a steady speed, matching that of the Daedalus, and seemed unperturbed by the ship's presence. The sailors watched in awe and trepidation, documenting the encounter in their logs and sketches. Captain McQuay later reported the sighting to the Admiralty, describing the creature as an enormous serpent with a dark body that could have been mistaken for a line of porpoises, if not for its distinct movement and form. The account was published in newspapers and quickly captured the public's imagination. The idea of a sea serpent lurking in the depths of the ocean fed into existing folklore and the era's fascination with undiscovered creatures. Theories about the sea serpent of the Daedalus abounded. Some believed it to be a surviving member of a prehistoric species, perhaps a plesiosaur or a giant eel. Others suggested it might be an unknown species of marine animal, yet to be classified by science. The idea of a colossal sea serpent roaming the oceans was both thrilling and terrifying, and it sparked numerous other reports and sightings of similar creatures around the world. Skeptics, however, offered alternative explanations. One theory proposed that the sailors had seen a large marine animal, such as a giant squid or whale, and had misinterpreted what they saw due to the distance and the conditions of the sighting. Another suggestion was that the creature could in fact have been a line of dolphins swimming in formation, creating the illusion of a single elongated entity. These explanations, while plausible, did little to quell the fascination and belief in the existence of sea serpents. In the years following the Daedalus sighting, various expeditions and researchers attempted to find concrete evidence of the sea serpent, but no definitive proof was ever found. The mystery persisted, and the tale of the Daedalus serpent became a staple of maritime lore, often cited alongside other legendary sea creatures like the Kraken and the Loch Ness Monster. Modern scientific investigations have provided further insights, though the mystery remains unsolved. Some marine biologists suggest that large, rarely seen marine animals such as oarfish, which can grow up to 36 feet long and have a serpentine appearance, could account for the sighting. The oarfish's undulating swimming motion and elongated body could easily be mistaken for a sea serpent under the right conditions. Yet, even with these rational explanations, the lack of concrete evidence leaves room for continued speculation and wonder. Number 12. The Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument, an extraordinary underwater formation near Yonaguni Island in Japan, has captured the imagination of divers, scientists, and mystery enthusiasts since its discovery. The tale begins in 1986, when Kihachiro Arataki, a local diver, stumbled upon a mysterious series of stone structures while exploring the seabed. What he found was far beyond the typical underwater scenery. Instead, it was a submerged structure that seemed to defy natural explanation. Located about 25 meters below the surface, the monument comprises vast stone formations that feature sharp-edged, flat surfaces, precise straight lines, and almost perfect right angles. The most striking feature is a massive, flat-topped formation resembling a stepped pyramid, surrounded by what appear to be terraces, pathways, and walls. These characteristics immediately led to speculation that the monument might be the remnants of an ancient, advanced civilization that had fallen to ruin and been swallowed by the sea. As word of Aratake's discovery spread, The site attracted the attention of researchers and adventurers worldwide. Among them was Professor Masaki Kimura, a marine geologist at the University of the Ryukyus, who became a leading proponent of the theory that the monument was created by humans. Kimura believes the structure could be over 5,000 years old, dating back to a time when lower sea levels left the area above water. According to Kimura, the monument may have been part of an ancient city, potentially linked to myths of lost continents like Mu or Lemuria. The legend of Mu was popularized by the British-American writer James Churchward, who published a series of books on the subject in the early 20th century. According to Churchward, Mu was a vast continent in the Pacific Ocean, stretching from the Marianas to Easter Island, and from Hawaii to Fiji. He claimed to have based his work on ancient tablets he discovered while serving as a soldier in India. These tablets, written in an ancient language known as Nagamaya, allegedly described the history and eventual destruction of Mu. Churchward's books describe Mu as the cradle of civilization, home to an advanced society with a population of over 60 million people. The inhabitants of Mu were said to possess advanced technology and knowledge, including sophisticated engineering, agriculture, and navigation skills. They built grand temples and pyramids, many of which were believed to have influenced those built by later civilizations in Asia, the Americas, and Africa. According to Churchward, Mu was destroyed by a series of cataclysmic events, including volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, which caused the entire continent to sink into the ocean around 12,000 years ago. This catastrophic event supposedly led to the dispersion of its survivors, who spread their knowledge and culture to other parts of the world. The concept of Lemuria predates Churchward's Mu and has its origins in the mid-19th century. The idea was first proposed by zoologist Philip Sclater in 1864 to explain the distribution of lemur fossils and other related species found in Madagascar, India, and Africa. Sclater hypothesized that a lost landmass, which he named Lemuria, once connected these regions, allowing the species to spread across what are now separate continents. Theosophists, such as the infamous mystic Helena Blavatsky, incorporated Lemuria into their esoteric teachings, describing it as an ancient land inhabited by a spiritually advanced race. According to Blavatsky, the Lemurians were giants with psychic abilities and a deep connection to the natural world. Theosophical writings suggest that Lemuria existed in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, and its civilization flourished before the rise of Atlantis. Like Mu, Lemuria was said to have been destroyed by cataclysmic events, leading to its eventual submersion beneath the ocean. The survivors of Lemuria were believed to have migrated to other parts of the world, influencing the development of later civilizations. Kimura's team also identified features they interpreted as carved faces, animal sculptures, and other intricate carvings on the monument. These findings suggested that the structure was not just a natural formation, but potentially a site of significant cultural and historical importance. Kimura proposed that the monument might have served as a ceremonial or religious site, a fortress, or even an astronomical observatory. However, other experts have conflicting theories. Many geologists and archaeologists argue that the Yonaguni monument is most likely a natural formation, shaped by millennia of underwater currents, tectonic shifts, and erosion. They point to similar formations found around the world, such as the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland and the basalt columns of the Devil's Postpile in California, arguing that nature alone could have created the monument's geometric features. An alternative theory suggests a blend of both natural and human influences. According to this view, an ancient civilization might have discovered a naturally occurring rock formation and modified it for their own purposes. This theory posits that the monument could be both a natural geological structure and a human-altered site used for ceremonial or other purposes. The true origin of the Yonaguni monument remains a tantalizing mystery. If it is indeed a human-made structure, its original function is open to speculation. Was it a sacred site, a fortress, or an observatory? The absence of definitive archaeological evidence or artifacts complicates the puzzle, leaving room for endless conjecture and debate. Number 11. The underwater crop circles. When the underwater crop circles were first discovered off the coast of Japan in 1995, Their intricate geometric patterns left divers and scientists perplexed. The circles, measuring about 6.5 feet in diameter, featured radiating lines and concentric rings that appear too precise and artistic to be natural occurrences. As a result, vast theories emerged to explain their origins, each reflecting different ways in which people tried to make sense of this underwater mystery. One of the earliest theories proposed that the underwater crop circles were the result of natural geological or oceanographic processes. Some scientists believed that the formations could have been created by underwater currents, eddies, or vortices that sculpted the sand into these intricate patterns over time. This theory drew on the widespread scientific understanding that fluid dynamics can produce regular and repeating patterns in nature, similar to the ripple marks seen on sandy ocean floors, or the patterns formed by wind-blown dunes in deserts. Another prevalent theory suggested that the circles were created by the activities of unknown or little understood marine organisms. Given the regularity and precision of the patterns, some researchers hypothesized that a species of marine life, possibly a type of burrowing creature or small organisms engaging in collective behavior, could be responsible for the formations. This idea was supported by the fact that many marine animals, such as certain types of crabs and shrimp, are known to manipulate their environments for feeding or mating purposes. There was also speculation that the circles might have been the result of human activity. Some people suggested that the formations could be the remnants of ancient human settlements or structures that had been submerged due to rising sea levels. Others posited that the circles were created by divers or underwater archaeologists as part of an art project or scientific experiment. This theory, while less scientific, reflected the human tendency to ascribe complex or unexplained phenomena to purposeful design. The more fantastical theories proposed that the underwater crop circles were the work of extraterrestrial beings. This idea drew parallels to the terrestrial crop circles often attributed to UFOs and alien activity. Proponents of this theory argued that the precision and beauty of the patterns were beyond the capabilities of known marine life or natural processes, suggesting that they could be messages or markings left by advanced alien civilizations. While this theory was widely dismissed by the scientific community, it captured the imagination of many of those interested in the possibility of extraterrestrial life. In addition to scientific and speculative theories, some explanations were rooted in local folklore and mythology. The underwater crop circles were sometimes linked to ancient Japanese legends of underwater palaces or dragon kings, mythical beings believed to inhabit the depths of the ocean. According to these stories, the formations could be the handiwork of mythical sea creatures or gods, adding a layer of cultural mystique to the scientific mystery. The mystery remained unresolved until 2012, when Japanese marine biologist Yoji Akata made a breakthrough discovery. Akata observed a small species of pufferfish, only about 5 inches long, meticulously creating these intricate patterns in the sand. The male pufferfish was seen swimming tirelessly, using its fins to carve out the designs. This behavior was identified as a mating ritual, with the circles serving to attract females. The ridges and valleys in the patterns help to protect the eggs from ocean currents and predators, demonstrating a sophisticated adaptation for reproductive success. Number 10. Lake Baikal's underwater spires. Lake Baikal, nestled in the heart of Siberia, Russia, is a place where the ordinary fades away and the extraordinary manifests. This ancient lake, the world's deepest and oldest, is a reservoir of secrets, holding more water than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. Its serene surface belies a world of mysteries and marvels that have intrigued scientists, explorers, and mystics for generations. One of the most captivating features of Lake Baikal is its geological peculiarity. Formed over 25 million years ago, it lies in an active continental rift zone, which continues to pull apart at a rate of about 1 inch per year. This continuous geological activity has carved out a unique underwater landscape, teeming with hydrothermal vents and mud volcanoes. Recent expeditions employing sophisticated underwater robots have revealed these hidden wonders, shedding light on the seismic forces that shaped this lake's history and continue to sculpt its depths. But it's not just the geology that fascinates. Lake Baikal is a living laboratory of evolution. Its isolated environment has given rise to a myriad of unique species, with over 3,600 plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. The Baikal seal, or Nerpa, stands out as the only freshwater seal species in the world, a creature that has adapted to the lake's frigid waters and depths. Exploring Lake Baikal is like stepping into a prehistoric world, where ancient life forms thrive in one of the world's most pristine ecosystems. Adding to the lake's mystique are the mysterious ice circles that appear on its frozen surface each winter. These massive, perfect circles, some spanning several miles in diameter, were first noticed by astronauts aboard the International Space Station. While scientists suggest that these formations result from warm water rising from the lake's depths, causing the ice to melt in circular patterns, the exact process remains a puzzle. These ice rings are a visual reminder of the unseen forces at play beneath the lake's tranquil exterior. Local legends and folklore only deepen the sense of mystery. For centuries, the indigenous Buryat people and Siberian shamans have revered the lake as a sacred entity, a living spirit with immense power. Stories abound of strange lights dancing over the water, described as glowing spheres or orbs. Some locals whisper of UFOs, while others speak of natural but still unexplained atmospheric phenomena. These tales, passed down through generations, weave a rich tapestry of myth and mystery that surrounds the lake. Then there are the stories of the lake's cryptids, large serpentine creatures that allegedly dwell in its depths, drawing comparisons to Scotland's Loch Ness Monster. While no concrete evidence has surfaced to confirm these sightings, the sheer size and depth of Lake Baikal leave room for endless speculation. Could unknown creatures be hiding in its unexplored recesses? The possibility adds a thrilling dimension to the lake's mystery. In a remarkable blend of the ancient and the cutting edge, Lake Baikal is also a hub for advanced scientific research. Deep within its clear waters lies the Baikal Neutrino Telescope, an underwater observatory designed to detect neutrinos, elusive subatomic particles that can pass through entire planets without interacting with matter. This research could unlock secrets of the universe, offering insights into cosmic phenomena and the fundamental laws of physics. The pristine waters of Baikal, acting as a natural filter, provide an ideal environment for this groundbreaking study. Despite its scientific and cultural significance, Lake Baikal faces numerous environmental threats. Pollution, climate change, and overfishing pose significant risks to its unique ecosystem. Conservation efforts are crucial to preserving the lake's unique biodiversity and ensuring that its mysteries continue to captivate future generations. Lake Baikal, with its blend of natural wonders and supernatural lore, is one of the planet's most enduring mysteries. Its depths hold stories of ancient life and ongoing geological drama, while its surface and surroundings are steeped in cultural and mythical significance. As research continues and new technologies emerge, we may one day unlock more of the secrets hidden within this remarkable lake. Until then, Lake Baikal remains a captivating blend of science, myth, and natural beauty, a place where the mysteries it holds are as deep as the lake itself. Number 9. Bimini Road. The mystery of Bimini Road has long intrigued explorers, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Located off the coast of Bimini in the Bahamas, this underwater formation consists of a series of large, flat stones that appear to be laid out in a deliberate linear pattern. Discovered in 1968 by a team of divers, Bimini Road has since sparked a myriad of theories regarding its origins and purpose, with some suggesting it could be the remnants of the lost civilization of Atlantis. The Bimini Road is composed of limestone blocks, each weighing several tons and measuring up to 13 feet in length. The stones are arranged in a straight line, stretching about half a mile, with some sections forming a parallel line, creating what appears to be a paved road or wall. The formation lies in shallow water, about 18 feet below the surface, making it easily accessible to divers and snorkelers. From the moment of its discovery, the Bimini Road has been the subject of intense speculation and debate. One of the most popular theories is that it is a man-made structure, possibly a road, wall, or pier, constructed by an ancient and advanced civilization. Proponents of this theory often link it to the legendary Atlantis, a powerful and technologically advanced society described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. According to his writings, Atlantis was a grand island kingdom that sank into the ocean around 9,000 years before his time. The precise location of Atlantis has been the subject of countless theories, and some believe that Bimini Road could be a remnant of this lost city. The legend of Atlantis has captivated imaginations for over 2 millennia. The tale originates from the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, specifically in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. In Plato's narrative, Atlantis was a powerful and technologically advanced civilization located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the modern-day Strait of Gibraltar. The Atlanteans were said to have created a utopian society on a vast island continent, thriving around 9,000 years before Plato's own time. Plato described Atlantis as an advanced society with incredible achievements in architecture, engineering, and governance. The city was said to have been laid out in concentric circles of land and water, featuring magnificent palaces, temples, and a grand central acropolis. The Atlanteans were depicted as a formidable naval power, with a fleet that allowed them to dominate the Mediterranean and potentially other parts of the world. Their society was prosperous and enlightened, but also grew increasingly corrupt and greedy over time. The destruction of Atlantis, as recounted by Plato, came about as a result of divine retribution for the moral decay and hubris of its inhabitants. The gods, particularly Poseidon, who was believed to have favored Atlantis, became displeased with the Atlanteans' behavior. In a catastrophic event described as occurring over a single day and night, Atlantis was said to have been swallowed by the sea, vanishing without a trace. This sudden destruction was attributed to a combination of earthquakes and floods, erasing the island and its advanced civilization from history. Supporters of the Atlantis theory point to the precision and regularity of the stones, suggesting that such a formation could not occur naturally. They argue that the alignment and layout of the stones indicate deliberate placement by human hands. This theory was given a boost by the Bimini prophecy made by the American psychic Edgar Cayce, who predicted that evidence of Atlantis would be found near Bimini in 1968, the same year the road was discovered. However, the scientific community remains skeptical of the Atlantis connection. Many archaeologists and geologists argue that the Bimini Road is a natural formation. They explain that the stones are composed of beach rock, a type of limestone that forms in the intertidal zone of tropical and subtropical regions. The regular shapes and alignment of the stones could result from natural processes such as erosion and the fracturing of the rock along natural joints. Over time, tidal action and storms could have further aligned the stones, creating the appearance of a man-made structure. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the natural formation theory is the presence of similar formations in other parts of the world. For instance, the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland and the tessellated pavement in Tasmania are both natural formations that feature regular geometric patterns that resemble man-made structures. These examples demonstrate that natural processes can produce features that appear to be artificially engineered. Despite the scientific consensus, the allure of Bimini Road's possible link to a lost civilization persists. The site continues to attract divers, researchers, and enthusiasts eager to explore its mysteries. Each expedition brings new observations and measurements, but definitive proof of either a natural or artificial origin remains elusive. The mystery of Bimini Road is further deepened by local legends and folklore. The indigenous people of the Bahamas have long told stories of ancient submerged cities and temples, suggesting that their ancestors were aware of the ruins long before their modern discovery. These tales add a cultural and historical dimension to the enigma, blending myth and reality in a way that captivates the imagination. Today, Bimini Road remains one of the most intriguing underwater sites in the world. Whether it's a natural formation or the remnants of an ancient civilization, its existence challenges our understanding of history and geology. The ongoing exploration and study of Bimini Road not only seek to uncover its origins, but also to spark curiosity and wonder about the many mysteries that lie beneath the ocean's surface. In the end, the true nature of Bimini Road may never be fully understood, but the human fascination with our planet's hidden secrets ensures that it will be talked about for generations to come. Whether it leads to the lost city of Atlantis or is simply a remarkable natural formation, Bimini Road continues to inspire and intrigue, a submerged highway to the unknown. Number 8. SS Waratah. The mystery of the SS Waratah is a haunting tale from the annals of maritime history. Later known as the Titanic of the South, the Waratah was a luxurious passenger liner that vanished without a trace in 1909, sparking one of the most enduring mysteries of the sea. Her disappearance has intrigued and puzzled historians, mariners, and adventurers for over a century. The SS Waratah was built by the prominent shipbuilders Barclay Curle & Co. in Glasgow and was first launched from the port there in 1908. This 500-foot behemoth was designed to provide the ultimate in comfort and safety for her passengers, boasting elegant salons, state-of-the-art amenities, and robust construction. Her name, Waratah, was inspired by a vibrant Australian flower, symbolizing the bright future anticipated for this vessel. The ship embarked on her maiden voyage in November 1908, traveling from London to Australia via South Africa. Despite some early concerns about her stability, the Waratah completed several successful stops. However, whispers about her tendency to list, especially when heavily loaded, began to circulate among the crew and passengers. These rumors foreshadowed the dark turn her story would soon take. In July 1909, the Waratah set sail from Durban, South Africa, bound for Cape Town and ultimately London. On board were 211 passengers and crew, including prominent figures like engineer John Craig and members of the wealthy Hyman family. The journey began uneventfully, but ominous signs soon emerged. Some passengers disembarked at Durban, expressing unease about the ship's stability and preferring to continue their travels by other means. The last confirmed sighting of the Waratah was on July 27, 1909, by the crew of the SS Clan MacIntyre, another steamship traveling the same route. The Waratah and Clan MacIntyre exchanged signals, but shortly afterward, the Waratah sailed into the gathering gloom of a storm, never to be seen again. Despite extensive search efforts, including by the Royal Navy, no trace of the ship or its passengers was found. It was as if the sea had swallowed her whole. The disappearance of the Waratah sparked a frenzy of speculation and theories. One of the most widely accepted theories is that the Waratah succumbed to the fierce storm that was brewing on the night of July 27, 1909. The ship was known to have stability issues, particularly when heavily loaded, which may have been exacerbated by the severe weather conditions. The theory posits that the Waratah capsized and sank rapidly, leaving no time for distress signals or for passengers and crew to abandon ship. The suddenness of such an event would explain the complete absence of wreckage or bodies. Another theory involves the possibility of a catastrophic structural failure. Some historians suggest that the Waratah may have experienced an explosion, possibly in her boiler room, leading to her rapid destruction. This theory is supported by accounts of debris and life preservers washing ashore along the South African coast in the weeks following her disappearance. The violent force of an explosion could have torn the ship apart, scattering debris over a wide area and making it difficult to locate significant pieces of wreckage. A more unusual theory involves the concept of the Waratah being caught in a powerful rogue wave. These rare, massive waves can appear suddenly and are capable of capsizing even the largest vessels. Given the stormy conditions reported on the night the Waratah disappeared, some experts believe a rogue wave could have overwhelmed the ship, leading to her swift and silent demise. Maritime lore has also contributed to the mystery, with enduring tales of ghost ships and supernatural occurrences. Some claim that the Waratah, like the infamous Flying Dutchman, became a spectral vessel doomed to sail the seas forever. Sightings of ghostly ships off the South African coast have been linked to the Waratah, adding a paranormal dimension to the mystery. While these stories capture the imagination, they lack the empirical evidence needed for serious consideration. In recent years, technological advancements have enabled more detailed and precise searches for the Waratah's wreckage. In 1999, Australian adventurer David Mearns led an expedition that identified several potential wreck sites using sonar and underwater exploration equipment. Despite these efforts, none of these sites have been definitively confirmed as the watery grave of the Waratah. Mearns and his team continue to believe that the ship's final resting place is within reach, and further expeditions may one day yield answers. Another intriguing angle is the potential misidentification of wreck sites. Some theorists propose that previously discovered shipwrecks in the area could actually be the Warta, but were overlooked or misidentified during initial surveys. This hypothesis suggests that a more thorough re-examination of known wrecks could eventually reveal the Warta, hiding in plain sight. Environmental factors also play a role in the ongoing mystery. The powerful currents and shifting sands of the South African coast can quickly cover and uncover wreckage, complicating search efforts. The dynamic seabed might have buried the Warta under tons of sand, making it nearly impossible to locate without advanced, targeted technology. Modern efforts to locate the Warta have employed advanced technology, including sonar and underwater exploration. The search continues to this day, with each expedition rekindling hopes of solving the century-old puzzle. Number 7. The City of Heraklion. The lost city of Heraklion, also known as Thonis in Egyptian texts, is one of the most remarkable underwater archaeological discoveries of the 21st century. Once a thriving port city at the mouth of the Nile, Heraklion played a crucial role in ancient trade and politics before it mysteriously vanished beneath the Mediterranean Sea. Heraklion, named after the Greek hero Heracles, was known as Thonis to the Egyptians. It flourished from the 6th century BCE to the 2nd century BCE, serving as a major hub for trade and culture. Positioned strategically at the entrance of the Nile, the city was a bustling gateway for ships entering Egypt from the Mediterranean. It hosted a grand temple dedicated to Amun, the Egyptian king of the gods, and another to Heracles, emphasizing its religious significance for both Egyptians and Greeks. The city's wealth and power were evident in its grand architecture. It boasted impressive temples, colossal statues, and extensive networks of canals and harbors. The city's design showcased a blend of Egyptian and Greek influences, reflecting its cosmopolitan nature. Heraklion was also famed for its colossal statue of Hapi, the god of the Nile's flood, symbolizing prosperity and fertility. For centuries, Heraklion was known only through ancient texts and legends. The city's sudden disappearance around the 2nd century BCE led to numerous theories. Historical records suggest that a series of natural disasters might have caused the city's demise. The region was seismically active, and a significant earthquake or series of tremors could have destabilized the city's foundations. Tsunamis following such earthquakes could have further contributed to the destruction and ultimate submersion of the city. Another possibility is soil liquefaction, where water-saturated soil temporarily loses its solidity due to seismic activity, causing buildings and structures to collapse and sink. Gradual rises in sea level, combined with the heavy weight of the city's infrastructure on the unstable Nile Delta silt, might have led to subsidence and eventual submersion. These theories are supported by geological and archaeological evidence, indicating that a combination of these factors likely contributed to the city's fall into the Mediterranean. The discovery of Heraklion began in 2000, led by French underwater archaeologist Frank Godiot and his team. Utilizing advanced technology, including sonar mapping and nuclear magnetic resonance magnetometers, the team located the submerged city 6.5 kilometers off the coast of modern-day Alexandria, lying 10 meters underwater. The initial surveys revealed a stunning array of artifacts, suggesting that Heraklion had been a vibrant and significant city. Subsequent excavations uncovered a wealth of treasures, including colossal statues, temples, nautical artifacts, and coins and inscriptions. Among the most significant finds was a 10-foot statue of Hapi, the god of the Nile flood, and the Decree of Sais, a stone tablet inscribed with Greek and Egyptian hieroglyphics, providing valuable information about the city's administration and religious significance. The discovery of Heraklion has profoundly impacted our understanding of ancient Egyptian and Greek interactions. The artifacts and ruins have shed light on the city's religious practices, trade networks, and the daily life of the people who lived there. The blend of Greek and Egyptian elements found in the city underscores the cultural exchanges that took place there. Despite extensive research, many aspects of Heraklion remain shrouded in mystery. The exact reasons for its submersion are still debated, and much of the city remains unexplored. Continuous underwater excavations are revealing new artifacts and structures, slowly piecing together the city's history. Modern technology plays a crucial role in these ongoing explorations. Advanced diving equipment, remote-operated vehicles, and 3D mapping techniques allow archaeologists to study the submerged ruins in unprecedented detail. Today, Heraklion is a site of immense archaeological importance. Efforts to preserve its artifacts are ongoing, with many displayed in museums around the world, offering the public a glimpse into this sunken wonder. The Egyptian government, along with international archaeology teams, continues to study and protect the site, balancing the challenges of underwater excavation with the need to conserve this invaluable cultural site. Number 6. The Julia Sound. On March 1, 1999, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, recorded an unusual sound in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. The sound, which lasted for about 15 seconds, was picked up by the Equatorial Pacific Ocean Autonomous Hydrophone Array, a system designed to monitor seismic and volcanic activity in the region. Dubbed Julia by NOAA researchers, the sound was characterized by its eerie, mournful tone, resembling a distant wail or moan. The recording was so haunting that some listeners likened it to the sound of a giant creature crying out from the depths of the ocean. Julia's origins have remained a subject of intense debate and speculation. One of the prevailing scientific theories is that the sound was produced by a large iceberg running aground off Antarctica. The immense pressure and movement of the ice could generate powerful acoustic waves, capable of traveling vast distances underwater. This explanation, while plausible, does not entirely dispel the aura of mystery surrounding Julia, as it leaves room for doubt and further inquiry. Another theory proposes that Julia might be the call of a yet undiscovered marine creature. The depths of the ocean are still largely unexplored, and it is possible that large, unknown species exist in these uncharted waters. Some enthusiasts of cryptozoology, the study of unknown or legendary animals, suggest that Julia could be the vocalization of a giant squid or an even larger, undiscovered sea creature. This idea taps into human fascination with mythical sea monsters and the possibility that the ocean still harbors ancient, elusive giants. In addition to these creature-based theories, some have suggested that Julia could be linked to geological activity. The Pacific Ocean is home to the Ring of Fire, a region known for its intense seismic and volcanic activity. Underwater earthquakes and volcanic eruptions can produce powerful acoustic signals that could potentially explain the sound. These natural phenomena can generate deep, resonant noises as tectonic plates shift and magma moves beneath the ocean floor. However, this theory struggles to account for the unique and almost mournful tone of Julia. Another imaginative theory posits that Julia and similar unexplained underwater sounds, such as the bloop and slowdown, could be evidence of advanced submarine civilizations or even extraterrestrial activity. Proponents of this theory argue that the ocean, with its vast unexplored depths, could conceal advanced beings who might produce such sounds, either intentionally or as a byproduct of their technology. While this theory veers into the realm of science fiction, it captivates those who believe in the possibility of unknown intelligent life forms existing beneath the waves. The mysterious nature of Julia has also led to cultural interpretations that draw on human fears and the mystique of the ocean. Some suggest that the sound could be a manifestation of supernatural forces or ancient mythical beings. This interpretation, while not scientific, resonates with the primal human fear of the deep sea and the unknown entities that might dwell there. The ocean has always been a source of myth and legend, and Julia fits neatly into these narratives as a modern addition to the pantheon of maritime mysteries. The eerie quality of Julia has also inspired various cultural interpretations. In online communities such as Reddit's Thalassophobia, discussions about the sound often evoke a sense of primal fear and wonder. The thought of an immense, unseen force or creature making its presence known through such a haunting cry strikes at the core of our fear of the unknown and the deep sea. Despite the chilling theories and cultural fascination, Julia remains an enigma. The NOAA's hydrophone array, though sophisticated, is limited in its ability to pinpoint exact sources and causes of such sounds. The vastness and depth of the ocean make it a challenging environment for definitive study, and many mysteries, like Julia, may never be fully explained. Number 5. The Phantom Island of Bermea. The mystery of Bermea revolves around the existence and subsequent disappearance of an island once depicted on maps off the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula in the Gulf of Mexico. For centuries, Bermea was marked on nautical charts and was even included in official documents, yet today, it appears to have vanished without a trace. This vanishing has puzzled historians, cartographers, and modern researchers alike. Bermea was reportedly a small island, roughly 55 miles, or 88 kilometers, northwest of the Yucatan Peninsula. It first appeared on maps as early as the 16th century, described in detail by European explorers and cartographers. Its name, Bermea, is thought to derive from the Spanish word for reddish, possibly indicating the color of its soil or rocks. Historical records, including Spanish navigation charts and documents, consistently placed Bermea in the same approximate location. The actual mystery centers on why, despite extensive historical documentation, modern searches have failed to locate Bermea. Its consistent presence in historical maps and records suggests that the island was real and known to sailors and explorers of the time. For example, it was included in a 1539 map by Alonso de Santa Cruz, the chief cartographer to King Charles V of Spain. Its presence was also noted in various maritime logs and navigation documents well into the 18th century. The first significant doubts about Bermea's existence arose in the 19th century, when more precise surveying techniques failed to locate the island. By the mid-20th century, Bermea was largely considered a cartographic error, yet the mystery persisted due to its reappearance on some maps and in some official documents. The mystery deepened with the development of modern mapping and satellite technology, which revealed no trace of the island where it was supposed to be. Several theories attempt to explain the disappearance of Bermea. One theory suggests that Bermea never existed and was merely a cartographic error. Early mapmakers often relied on anecdotal reports and rudimentary navigation tools, which could easily result in inaccuracies. These errors could be perpetuated over centuries as maps were copied, referenced, and reproduced, creating the illusion of an island that never was. Another theory posits that Bermea did exist, but was subsequently submerged due to natural geological processes. The Gulf of Mexico is a geologically active area, subject to tectonic shifts, erosion, and sea level changes. It's conceivable that Bermea could have been an island that gradually eroded or sank due to these natural forces. Submerged islands and landmasses are not uncommon in regions with significant sediment deposition and tectonic activity. A more speculative theory involves geopolitical intrigue. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the potential for oil exploration in the Gulf of Mexico brought renewed interest in the exact maritime boundaries of the region. Some conspiracy theories suggest that Bermea was intentionally removed from maps to alter territorial claims and favor certain nations in the access of lucrative oil reserves. This theory, while compelling, lacks substantial evidence and remains speculative. Modern efforts to locate Bermea using advanced technology have been extensive but ultimately fruitless. Researchers have employed satellite imagery, sonar mapping, and underwater exploration to search for any sign of the island, but no definitive evidence has been found. The lack of findings has led many to conclude that if Bermea did exist, it has been completely submerged or eroded away. The cultural and historical significance of Bermea adds another layer to its mystery. The island's consistent depiction on historical maps suggests it played a role in the maritime navigation and territorial understanding of early explorers. Its disappearance challenges our understanding of historical cartography and the reliability of ancient maps. Number 4. The Cursed Shipwreck. The Mica Shipwreck, often referred to as the Cursed Wreck of the Gulf of Mexico, is steeped in a rich history of maritime lore, mystery, and misfortune. This enigmatic ship, which met its untimely end in the 19th century, has become a focal point for divers and historians alike, who are captivated by its tragic voyages, mysterious demise, and the eerie tales of a supposed curse that haunts its remains. The Mica was a three-masted wooden schooner, built in the early 1800s, known for its robust design and significant cargo capacity. It was a vessel designed to weather the harsh conditions of the open sea, and for many years, it successfully navigated the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, carrying goods between the United States, the Caribbean, and Central America. The ship was named after the mineral mica, perhaps in a nod to the wealth and glittering prospects that maritime trade promised during that era. Throughout its operational life, the mica was noted for its reliable service and sturdy construction. However, it was also the subject of numerous unsettling incidents and tales of misfortune. Crew members often spoke of strange occurrences on board, such as sudden, unexplained drops in temperature, mysterious noises emanating from the hull, and eerie lights seen on the water at night while at sea. These stories, while often dismissed as sailor superstitions, contributed to the ship's reputation as being doomed from its first launch. The mica's final voyage began in the spring of 1875, when it set sail from Mobile, Alabama, loaded with a cargo of cotton and lumber destined for the Caribbean. The crew, experienced and well-prepared, anticipated a routine journey. However, as the ship ventured further into the Gulf of Mexico, it encountered a series of increasingly severe storms. The weather conditions deteriorated rapidly, and the ship struggled against towering waves and powerful winds. Despite the crew's best efforts, the mica was battered by the relentless storm. On the night of April 3, 1875, the ship was last seen by a passing vessel, struggling in the tumultuous waters. The crew of the other ship reported seeing the mica's distress signals, but were unable to approach due to the ferocity of the storm. By morning, the mica had vanished, leaving no trace of its position or fate. The disappearance of the mica quickly became a subject of speculation and intrigue. Search efforts were mounted, but no wreckage or survivors were found. The Gulf of Mexico, known for its treacherous waters and deep seabed, seemed to have swallowed the ship whole. For decades, the fate of the mica remained an unsolved mystery, adding to its aura of misfortune. In the early 21st century, advances in underwater exploration technology led to a renewed interest in locating the mica. In 2009, a team of marine archaeologists using advanced sonar and remotely operated vehicles discovered a wreck that matched the description and known dimensions of the mica, lying over 100 feet beneath the surface of the Gulf of Mexico. The site, now known as the Mica Wreck, revealed a well-preserved shipwreck, with many of its features intact, including a cargo of cotton bales and wooden planks. The discovery of the Mica Wreck reignited discussions about the ship's supposed curse. Divers and researchers who explored the site reported experiencing equipment malfunctions, sudden changes in water temperature, and an overwhelming sense of unease. Some even claimed to have seen ghostly apparitions near the wreck, adding to the ship's haunted reputation. Several theories have been proposed to explain the mica's disappearance and the strange occurrences reported at the wreck site. One theory suggests that the ship encountered a rogue wave, an unusually large and unpredictable wave, capable of overwhelming even the sturdiest vessels. Such waves have been known to appear suddenly and strike with devastating force, making them a plausible explanation for the mica's sudden sinking. Another theory posits that the ship was struck by lightning during the storm, igniting the highly flammable cotton cargo and causing a catastrophic fire. This would explain the lack of visible wreckage on the surface, as the ship could have burned and sunk rapidly, leaving little trace. However, this theory is challenged by the relatively intact state of the wreck discovered, with no evidence of a major fire. Some researchers believe that the mica may have fallen victim to structural failure. The severe conditions and the age of the ship could have led to a critical weakening of its hull, causing it to break apart under the stress of the storm. The discovery of the wreck in a relatively concentrated area supports this idea, suggesting that the ship may have sunk quickly and settled on the seabed with minimal drift. The most intriguing and less scientific theory revolves around the notion of a curse. This theory, rooted in the stories and superstitions of sailors, suggests that the mica was doomed from the start. The strange occurrences reported by its crew and the eerie experiences of modern divers fuel the legend that the ship was cursed, perhaps by an object carried on board or by an event that took place during its early voyages. While this theory lacks empirical evidence, it captures the imagination and adds a layer of mystery to the ship's story. Today, the mica wreck continues to be a site of fascination and research. Marine archaeologists and historians study the wreck to glean insights into 19th century shipbuilding and maritime trade, while divers visit the site to experience its eerie allure firsthand. Number 3. the submarine disappearances of 1968. The year 1968 stands out in marine history due to the mysterious disappearances of 4 submarines from different nations within a few months of each other. These disappearances, which occurred during the height of the Cold War, have fueled numerous theories and significant speculation, as the true causes behind these losses remain elusive even today. The submarines involved were the USS Scorpion, the Soviet K-129, the French Minerve, and the Israeli INS Dakar. The USS Scorpion, SSN 589, was a skipjack-class nuclear-powered submarine of the United States Navy. Commissioned in 1960, it was one of the most advanced submarines of its time, designed for fast and silent operations. On May 20, 1968, the Scorpion was returning from a 3-month deployment in the Mediterranean when it sent a routine radio message. However, the submarine never reached its home port of Norfolk, Virginia. By May 27th, after failing to establish contact, the Scorpion was declared missing. Search efforts eventually located the wreckage of the Scorpion in October 1968 at a depth of over 9,800 feet in the Atlantic Ocean, about 400 miles southwest of the Azores. The wreckage showed the submarine had broken into 2 main sections. The exact cause of the sinking remains unknown, but theories range from a catastrophic mechanical failure to an internal explosion, possibly involving a torpedo. The mysterious circumstances of its loss have led to various conspiracy theories, including the possibility of a Cold War confrontation with Soviet forces. The Soviet submarine K-129 was a Golf II class ballistic missile submarine, part of the Soviet Pacific Fleet. On March 8, 1968, K-129 embarked on a routine patrol from its base in Kamchatka. Contact with the submarine was lost shortly after it left port, and despite extensive search efforts by the Soviet Navy, the vessel and its 98 crew members were not found. The exact location and cause of K-129's disappearance remained a mystery for years. In 1974, the United States, through a covert operation known as Project Azorian, managed to partially recover the K-129 from a depth of nearly 16,000 feet. The mission was spearheaded by the CIA using the specially constructed ship the Glomar Explorer. Despite recovering part of the submarine, much of what was actually found remains classified. Theories about K-129's sinking include a catastrophic missile malfunction, a collision with another submarine, or even a failed attempt to launch a missile at the United States, leading to internal sabotage or a retaliatory strike. The French submarine Minerve, S-647, was a Daphne-class diesel-electric submarine. On January 27, 1968, Minerve was conducting a routine exercise in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Toulon when it suddenly vanished. Despite immediate search efforts, the submarine and its 52 crew members were not found. The disappearance of Minerve remained an enduring mystery for over 5 decades. In 2019, renewed search efforts led to the discovery of the Minerve's wreckage. Using modern technology, including underwater drones, the submarine was found at a depth of about 7,700 feet. The exact cause of the sinking is still unclear, but it is believed to involve a rapid catastrophic failure, possibly related to structural issues or a mechanical malfunction. The discovery provided some closure to the families of the lost crew, but left many questions unanswered. The INS Dakar was a former British T-class submarine purchased by Israel in 1965. After undergoing extensive refurbishments, it embarked on its maiden voyage to Israel in January 1968. On January 24th, while en route from Gibraltar to Haifa, the Dakar sent its last communication, reporting its position and progress. The submarine then mysteriously vanished in the eastern Mediterranean. An extensive search operation involving multiple nations failed to locate the Dakar. It wasn't until 1999, more than 3 decades later, that the wreckage was discovered at a depth of about 9,800 feet between Crete and Cyprus. The exact cause of the sinking remains speculative, with theories ranging from a navigational error leading to a collision with underwater terrain to a catastrophic hull failure. Despite the discovery, the circumstances of the Dakar's loss remain one of Israel's most significant maritime mysteries. The disappearance of these 4 submarines in such a short period of time in 1968 has led to numerous theories and speculation. One theory suggests a connection between the disappearances, possibly involving covert Cold War operations and secret confrontations. This theory is supported by the intense geopolitical tensions of the time and the strategic importance of submarines in nuclear deterrence. Another theory posits that each submarine experienced unrelated catastrophic failures, highlighting the inherent risks of submarine operations. Submarines operate in one of the most hostile environments on Earth, and even minor malfunctions can lead to disaster. Structural failures, collisions with underwater obstacles, and internal explosions are all plausible explanations for the disappearances. There are also darker theories that suggest deliberate sabotage or cover-ups. Some believe that governments might have withheld information or even orchestrated the disappearances to avoid diplomatic incidents or to protect classified technology and operations. The recovery of parts of K-129 by the United States and the subsequent secrecy surrounding the findings fuel such speculation. Today, the mysteries of the 1968 submarine disappearances continue to fascinate and intrigue historians, researchers, and the general public. While modern technology has allowed for the discovery of the wrecks, many questions remain unanswered. The exact circumstances of each sinking, the potential connections between them, and the broader implications for Cold War history are still subjects of investigation and debate. As technology advances, further explorations and investigations may provide additional insights into these maritime enigmas. For now, the lost submarines of 1968 remain reminders of the dangers of deep-sea exploration and the enduring mysteries of the Cold War era. Number 2. The USS Scorpion. Continuing from the chilling saga of the 1968 submarine disappearances, it's worth taking a closer look at the disappearance of the USS Scorpion, SSS 589, as it's one of the most perplexing of its kind. A nuclear-powered submarine belonging to the United States Navy, the Scorpion vanished in the Atlantic Ocean under enigmatic circumstances, leaving behind a legacy of speculation, conspiracy theories, and unresolved questions. The USS Scorpion was a skipjack-class attack submarine, commissioned in 1960. Designed for speed and stealth, it was a formidable presence in the Cold War's underwater theater. Its primary mission was to track, and if necessary, engage Soviet submarines. On May 20th, 1968, the Scorpion set a course from the Mediterranean back to its home port in Norfolk, Virginia, following a 3-month deployment. The submarine was last heard from on May 21st, when it sent a routine radio message. This was the last contact anyone would have with the Scorpion. The Scorpion was declared overdue on May 27, 1968, after failing to arrive in Norfolk. The Navy launched an extensive search operation, but initial efforts yielded no results. It wasn't until late October 1968 that the wreckage was discovered by the research ship USNS Mizar. The Scorpion was found resting on the ocean floor at a depth of over 9,800 feet, about 400 miles southwest of the Azores. The submarine was broken into 2 main sections, with the hull exhibiting significant damage. The discovery of the wreckage did little to dispel the mystery surrounding the Scorpion's fate. Theories about what caused the submarine to sink abound, each with its own set of evidence. One of the leading theories involves a catastrophic mechanical failure. Some experts believe that a malfunction in the submarine's torpedo systems could have triggered an internal explosion, causing the vessel to implode and sink rapidly. This theory is supported by the presence of the torpedo room in the forward section of the wreckage, which showed signs of intense damage. Another compelling theory suggests that the Scorpion was lost due to a hydrogen explosion caused by the malfunction of its battery. The Mark 46 torpedo batteries were known to produce hydrogen gas, which could be highly explosive if not properly ventilated. A hydrogen buildup could have ignited, leading to a devastating explosion that doomed the submarine. This theory aligns with the historical records of similar incidents in other submarines, where hydrogen explosions caused catastrophic damage and even sunk similar vessels. Some conspiracy theorists propose that the Scorpion was involved in a covert operation that went disastrously wrong. During the Cold War, submarines were often used for intelligence gathering and other secret missions. One theory posits that the Scorpion was shadowing a Soviet submarine and was sunk in a hostile encounter. This theory is bolstered by the tense geopolitical climate of the time and the strategic importance of submarine warfare. However, there is little concrete evidence to support this scenario, and it remains largely speculative. Another intriguing theory involves the possibility of espionage and sabotage. Some suggest that the Scorpion was targeted by a hostile power, possibly one who was able to tamper with its critical systems. This theory taps into the broader narrative of Cold War espionage, where both the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in clandestine activities to gain an advantage over the other. Again, while this idea is captivating, it lacks substantial evidence. Despite numerous investigations and technological advancements, the true cause of the Scorpion's loss remains unknown. The Navy conducted multiple inquiries, but the official conclusions have not fully satisfied all experts and families of the lost crew. The ambiguity has led to persistent rumors and continued interest in the mystery. The wreck of the USS Scorpion has been the subject of several exploratory missions using advanced underwater technology. Remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, have provided detailed images of the wreckage, revealing the extent of the damage and offering clues about the submarine's final moments. However, the depths of the Atlantic and the condition of the wreck make definitive answers challenging to obtain. The Scorpion's final voyage is shrouded in a cloak of mystery and tragedy. As it sailed back to Norfolk, the crew would have been unaware of the fate that awaited them. The routine operations, the camaraderie among the sailors, and the familiar hum of the nuclear reactor were all part of a typical day aboard a submarine. Yet, somewhere along the way, something went catastrophically wrong. The silence that followed their last transmission is a reminder of the daily dangers faced by those who serve beneath the waves. Today, the USS Scorpion serves as a somber memorial to the 99 crew members who lost their lives. Memorials and tributes honor their service and sacrifice, and the submarine remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries that the ocean can still hold. The unanswered questions surrounding its disappearance continue to intrigue historians, naval enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists alike. Number 1. The origin of Earth's water. The origin of Earth's water is one of the most captivating and complex mysteries in planetary science. Our planet is uniquely blessed with vast oceans, rivers, and lakes, making it a blue oasis in the solar system. But where did all this water come from? Scientists have proposed several theories to explain the genesis of Earth's water, each supported by different lines of evidence and scientific reasoning. These theories offer fascinating insights into the early history of our planet and the broader processes that shaped our solar system. One of the leading theories suggests that water was delivered to Earth by icy bodies from the outer solar system. This idea posits that comets bombarded the early Earth, bringing water with them. Comets, which are composed primarily of water ice, were once thought to be the primary source of Earth's water. However, further studies revealed that the isotopic composition of water in comets, specifically the ratio of deuterium to hydrogen, DH ratio, often does not match that of Earth's oceans. More recently, asteroids rather than comets have emerged as the more likely source of Earth's water. Carbonaceous chondrites, a type of meteorite rich in water-bearing minerals, have a DH ratio that closely resembles that of Earth's water. This has led scientists to suggest that these asteroids, originating from the outer regions of the asteroid belt, collided with the early Earth, delivering substantial amounts of water. This theory is supported by the fact that Earth's interior contains significant amounts of water, suggesting that it was delivered during the planet's formation rather than afterwards. Another compelling theory proposes that water was already present in the materials that formed Earth. According to this hypothesis, the building blocks of our planet contained water in the form of hydrous minerals. As these materials coalesced to form Earth, the water was released and eventually made its way to the surface, forming the oceans. This theory aligns with the discovery of water-bearing minerals in Earth's mantle, indicating that significant amounts of water were trapped within the planet's interior during its formation. Some researchers propose that a combination of these theories may best explain the origin of Earth's water. In this hybrid model, water is both delivered by icy bodies and retained from the planet's building materials. This model suggests that while comets and asteroids contributed to the water inventory, A substantial portion was also derived from the hydrous minerals that were part of the Earth's initial makeup. The isotopic evidence from meteorites and terrestrial rocks provides crucial clues to the origins of Earth's water. The similarity in the DH ratio between Earth's water and certain types of meteorites supports the idea that asteroids played a significant role in delivering water. Additionally, studies of ancient zircons, which are some of the oldest minerals on Earth, suggest that liquid water was present on the planet's surface as early as 4.4 billion years ago, shortly after its formation. Recent advancements in space exploration and technology have further enriched our understanding of Earth's water origins. For instance, missions to asteroids such as NASA's OSIRIS-REx, which is studying the carbonaceous asteroid Bennu, and Japan's Hayabusa 2, which returns samples from the asteroid Ryugu, are providing new insights into the composition of these primordial bodies and their potential role in delivering water to Earth. The discovery of water in unexpected places within our solar system also influences our understanding of Earth's water. For example, the detection of water ice on the Moon and Mercury, as well as the presence of subsurface oceans on moons like Europa and Enceladus, suggests that water is more common in the solar system than previously thought. These findings imply that water could have been readily available during the early stages of planetary formation, supporting the idea that Earth's water could have multiple sources. Beyond our solar system, the study of exoplanets and their atmospheres may also shed light on the processes that govern the presence of water on rocky planets. Observations of water vapor in the atmospheres of distant exoplanets hint at the universality of water and the potential for similar delivery mechanisms to those that occurred on Earth. Despite significant progress and a number of supported hypotheses, many aspects of the mystery remain unsolved. Questions persist about the precise contributions of comets, asteroids, and hydrous minerals, as well as the processes that have allowed water to accumulate and persist on Earth's surface. Ongoing research, which combines geochemical analyses, computer simulations, and space missions, continues to refine our understanding and uncover new evidence. The origin of Earth's water is not just a question of scientific curiosity. It has profound implications for the search for life beyond our planet. Understanding how water arrived on Earth can inform the study of other potentially habitable worlds and guide the search for extraterrestrial life. If water is indeed a common ingredient in planet formation, as suggested by the prevalence of water in the solar system, then the chances of finding life elsewhere may be higher than previously imagined.